Before coming here, I worked in the health field. I enjoyed what I was doing, but I knew there was something that I could be more passionate about.
I actually went to school in Flint, Michigan, and wound up getting employed by them after I got my business degree.
Started former college student dropout, basically. I was an architecture major. That did not work out for me. Came back home. I was a call center representative for a little while. That was terrible.
Before I came to 1150, I was in the insurance business. I found I had a thirst to learn things. I wanted to know everything I could about the policies, and I actually had managers tell me that spend less time learning and studying things and more time selling.
I have done imports, exports. I had my own business when I was living in Venezuela, which is where I come from.
I was a low voltage data technician, which I worked at a wonderful place, but really I don't feel like I was following my passion.
Went to college traditionally out of high school, and I was working part-time as I was raising my children. And so I stayed home for about 15 years.
So I did a coding course online, and I really fell in love with it. I was like, this is a little addicting.
I watched some tutorials and I got a computer to do what I wanted it to do, and made it do some little calculations, and I was like, a burst of endorphins. This is awesome.
Looked at going to a typical college, getting a 4-year degree, and I did not really want to go back to school.
I started going to Ivy Tech for computer science, and I was talking to my husband about how long it was going to take, and he mentioned a boot camp.
So going through the program, it is challenging. It's not easy.
You can only plan so much before you're just stalling. So you got to get in there and try it. If it doesn't work, you'll find out pretty quickly.
And that's probably the hardest part of learning programming, is you have to face a lot of humility because things don't work the way you think in your head. They don't come out in your fingers.
They taught us how to teach ourselves.
And to know how to teach yourself, you're unstoppable in your knowledge.
Of course, the next step in your back of your mind is, okay, I've done all this work, but can I get a job?
You don't get confirmation of what you've done until someone actually starts paying you to do the stuff.
I wasn't sure if I was prepared or not, but once I got a job offer a few weeks after graduating, that reaffirmed everything.
When I went to my first interview, the one guy just puts down the resume and says, so you're telling me all this knowledge that you spoke to us about and showed us, you learned in just 90 days? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, that's amazing.
It has allowed me to do a lot of things that I wouldn't have been able previously.
Obviously there's a financial element. Working on a profit, you're making nothing. I'm easily making more than double now than I was 2 years ago.
Only 4 months in, it's still a little bit surreal. It's just like, wow, that's my job? Okay, awesome.
I find this work a lot less stressful than my previous job.
And I'm doing something that I love and getting paid twice as much as I was before.
Just having that ability to be like, I have a stable skill at this point, just my whole life. It's changed everything.
I think one thing 1150 has shown is you don't need a technological background to be a programmer.
Obviously, people have this idea that coders are those guys with hoods on and they're typing and it's a dark room, but it's not that anymore.
Coding is for everyone, and I mean that.
If you go and you're willing to work hard, work the long hours, kind of put everything in your life aside and just concentrate fully into this, it's going to work out.
I love computers, I love technology, and just being able to do something with it is a great experience. It's something I would never change for anything at all.